station. Headshot. God damn. Bullshit, bullshit. Okay, dude. Fuck you.
Hello everyone, I'm DSP and welcome to the weekend preview for Sunday, September 28th, 2014. What a week we've got coming up ahead of us. And so yes, you probably see something here that's a little different than my usual setup for vlogs. What you see right here is my actual microphone, which is now attached to a mic stand, okay? And usually what I would do is have the mic sitting right here in front of me on a table. What I've done is gotten this microphone stand per the suggestion of a few people. Unfortunately, I don't think it really changed much. I actually went ahead and used this today for Street Fighter. And basically I listened back to the videos and they still sound like a ton of echo. So I've gotten some other suggestions from people saying that if I got some soundproofing foam to maybe put up behind me and also on this wall over here where there's basically a bare wall creating an echo, that could help with the whole echo issue. But there's really, at this point, unfortunately, I did as much as I could and it didn't really do much. So it was worth a shot. It didn't really do much. This is where my mic sits now. And it's cool because it gives me more space in front of me on the table. But at the same time, it's kind of obtrusive here, as you can see, for vlogging, okay? So, first of all, thanks very much for being here on the weekend preview. What a week we have ahead of us, okay, everybody? A jam-packed week full of new content for you guys. The beginning of the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. Yeah, we've got a lot going on this week, okay? So, let's get to it. Let's talk about what I'm just working on right now. Let's talk about what to expect tomorrow before the new releases. Let's talk about the new release schedule this week and what you can expect then. Okay, everybody? Alright, so, we're going to start off with today. Today we had our very final weekly stream of Ultra Street Fighter 4. You may be saying, what do you mean by the final weekly stream? Why would you, have a final stream? You've been doing Street Fighter consistently for the past 2.5 months. I don't understand what's going on. Why are you stopping? And the answer is very, very, very simple. There's basically too much happening and too much coming out. Too many games are coming out, okay, within a short period of time. And I'm going to need to have to basically cut into some of the stuff that I was doing consistently weekly in order to get the stuff covered properly. So, for example, this week there's 3 new games. Next week there's, holy shit, 1, 2, 4 new games. The week after that, there's 2 new games. The week after that, there's at least 1. The week after that, there's 2. So you see what I mean? Like, there's so many games coming out every week that, unfortunately, I can't just forfeit a whole day of Sunday in order to do what I was doing, which was Street Fighter and then Tomodachi Life, okay? So, unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to have to basically stop doing consistent Street Fighter streams. So today was the very last one, and whew, it was a rough one. And the reason I say that, but by the way, I had more wins than losses overall. So it's not like every match I was losing. But there were some really good matches in there that just were hindered so much by online play. I do a reversal super, perfectly timed, it hits, and then it whiffs the rest of the super because the game didn't read that I was holding down the button because of a bad connection. And it's so frustrating when you are someone who's attended tournaments offline, someone who's been an offline major player like me. And you know, a lot of people give me shit and say, you're a pro fighting game player. Were you making a living doing it? No, so you weren't a professional. Back when I was actually good at Street Fighter, like Super Turbo and stuff, you couldn't make a living doing it because there were no sponsorships. The prizes for tournaments were tiny, all right? So I think that's a moot point. But the point is, I've been at the top levels of tournaments. I've won tournaments. I've placed at EVO. I know what it's like to play offline and to be able to get that reversal and like, yes, it feels so fulfilling and it's a great feeling. That's kind of one of the reasons why I go back to Street Fighter is because I want to get that feeling. When you play online and you press the button and nothing happens, or you get the wrong version of what you're doing, your move doesn't come out, it's so effing frustrating because online play drops inputs and lag creates those button drops, okay? So, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's very annoying. And the set was overall very frustrating. It's probably one of the most rage-filled sets of Street Fighter I've ever done in my life. Because here I am for months practicing with characters, getting to a level where I feel I can hang at least moderately, middle. I'm not a great tournament level player, but at least I should be able to beat the average Joe. And my shit just not coming out. And it's very, very frustrating. You'll see in the videos the intentions that I have to do stuff and the fact that it just doesn't happen because of online play. So, unfortunately, that's a lot of what was on the stream earlier today. I've already uploaded 14 matches, and there's going to be another 10 matches every day until they run out, which I believe they'll run out on Thursday. And that's going to be the final Ultra Street Fighter 4 stream for a while. It'll come back eventually because I know I'm going to get the Street Fighter bug. I always do. But it's going to be a while before I come back because I'm going to be so busy with all the new releases in October and November. Maybe December or maybe when that new Omega mode comes out for Ultra Street Fighter 4 in a couple months, which we don't have a release date for it yet. Maybe that's when I'll return to Street Fighter, okay? Excuse me. Okay, so now let's talk about what's coming up today, what's coming up early this week. Well, right now, obviously, I'm doing the weekend preview. Duh. Once this is done, I'm uploading it to my YouTube vlogging channel, The King of Hate Vlogs, and then immediately following that, I'm setting up for Tomodachi Life. There will not be another pre-stream. I'm just going to set right up and get started. And this is actually, again, going to be the final weekly stream of Tomodachi Life. I know that I've done it for, I think, about 5 weeks now in a row. And yes, I know there's about 1,000 people or so who watch all the videos. Over time, yes, they'll gain a few more views here or there. But the bottom line is, with all the new releases coming out, I know I'm going to need the time for that. And so Tomodachi Life also is basically going to go on hiatus. Now, will it eventually come back? I would say if enough people, let's say in 2-3 months, are demanding and say, we want to see Tomodachi Life, Phil, what's going on? Or what if Tomodachi Life has a big holiday update, which I don't know if it will, but what if it's like, oh, holiday-themed stuff? Maybe we'll do a special holiday stream of Tomodachi Life exploring all the special holiday-themed content and stuff like that. But ultimately, no, I'm not going to be doing that game every single week anymore, again, for the same reasons that I am, at this point, putting Street Fighter on hiatus, okay? So that's tonight. You're not going to want to miss that, because if you haven't, if you've been watching it consistently every week, this is going to be basically the temporary ending of it, okay? So that's tonight. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, finally, after a month of gameplay, that's right, 14 streams, I've done 14 streams of Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright on the Nintendo 3DS. It's finally going to come to a close tomorrow, Monday. I'm actually, to be 100% sure that I do beat it on Monday, I'm playing it on my first stream. So I want to repeat that. I'm playing Tomodachi Life tomorrow on my first stream, one of the very few times ever that I've done that, in order to be sure I have enough time to freaking beat the game. At this point, I put a ton of time and effort into the game, the voice acting I've been doing, killing my voice, and I just need to say, let's do it. Let's finish this. Let's get the epic ending of the game done, right? So that's going to be first stream tomorrow, okay? Second stream tomorrow is going to be the continuation of Hyrule Warriors, which is a game that now that I've played it for a few days, I can tell you I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun. Unlike Dynasty Warriors, which unfortunately a lot of the times becomes insanely repetitive, this game's got a good job of having you fight a variety of enemies, bosses from other Zelda franchises, which is cool to be able to fight them in this game, in this style of gameplay. The combos, the weapons that you keep getting, and the new characters. I've had a lot of variety in playing the game, and it's kept it fresh for me. I really like it. I'll be honest, though, I know this is the kind of game, it happened with Dynasty Warriors and twice now, where once you watch it for a little bit, it gets boring and repetitive, and it's more fun to play than to watch. So I am going to be beating that. I'm going to be playing it Monday night. I probably won't beat it. I will probably do another stream sometime this week to complete that game, along with all the other new releases, okay? So, that's Monday. Tuesday is the release of, I'm trying to remember the beginning of what it's called. Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor. That's right. Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor. The internet is abuzz about this game, by the way. Everyone's saying the game is great. Mainstream media got advanced copies of the game. They reviewed it. They gave it like 8s and 9s out of 10. People saying it's one of the most interesting kind of immersive games in a while. You pick it up and you don't want to put it down. So here's the deal. Unfortunately, first of all, I found out my local GameStop is not doing a midnight release for Shadows of Mordor. I found that out, okay? And incidentally, and I know it's bad timing, but this is life, right? The installers are coming to install new blinds in this office, Leanna's office, and our bedroom Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. So what that means is that unfortunately, no, I can't get up and go pick up the game at 10 a.m. when GameStop opens and be here to play it right away, unfortunately, because they're going to be here installing blinds. I have to be here. So dependent on how long it takes them to remove our existing blinds and install the new blinds, all right, that's going to tell you when I get to start to play the game. Because basically once they leave, then we're going to go pick up the game and then we're going to play it, okay? So you may be saying, well, okay, what does that mean? I don't understand. Does that mean Phil has a late start on Tuesday with Shadows of Mordor? How is he going to cover it the whole week? Well, here's the bottom line. I'm incredibly interested in Shadows of Mordor. First of all, you guys know I'm a Lord of the Rings fan and aficionado. I read the books. I saw all the movies. I'm loving it, okay? I love the fact that Lord of the Rings is kind of in style right now. And I'm really looking forward to this game. I definitely am. So I really want to give it a lot of time and attention, but I already know I'm starting late. So how am I going to handle it? It's this simple. I am going to basically start streaming as soon as I can, which will probably be a little bit later than usual. However, Tuesday is going to be a marathon day of Shadows of Mordor, meaning both my first and my second stream are going to be Shadows of Mordor, because that's how much I want to play the game. That's how much I want to immerse myself in the game. I want that whole day, just all day Shadows of Mordor, okay? So that's going to be Tuesday. Wednesday, the final DLC for Dark Souls 2 is being released on the PlayStation 3, which is the system I'm playing it on. So Wednesday, I'm going to balance Shadows of Mordor with the Dark Souls 2 DLC. What's going to be first stream that day is going to be purely dependent on viewer feedback about Shadows of Mordor. If people are watching the playthrough and saying, I keep saying Shadows, it's Shadow of Mordor. I apologize. I keep forgetting that. If people say, wow, Phil, Shadow of Mordor, we love it. It looks great. It's a lot of fun. You're playing it all day Tuesday. We want more. Give us more. Then I'll probably do it on first stream on Wednesday. If people are like, okay, so you played it all day. It seems like a decent game, but we really would like some variety. We'd like you to play Dark Souls 2 instead. Then I'll do Dark Souls 2 on first stream Wednesday. So it all depends on directly on your feedback, what you want to see on Wednesday. That'll determine what's first and second stream, okay? Now, Thursday, there's only going to be one gameplay stream because, yes, we are going to do another edition of my ongoing podcast, Hate Live, which people are really loving. Last week, I got overwhelming positive feedback about the show, people saying it was incredibly informative, but it was also entertaining and funny. This week, I'm trying to think in my head what would be some great stories that I could tell you for a Back in the Day segment this week. And so I'm still kind of bopping these ideas around in my head, and I do want to tell you about them. What I may end up doing, a lot of people have been saying to me that I should do something movie related. What I might do is tell you like my 10 favorite movies, or maybe the 10 movies that I thought were the most awful movies and why, and what perspective do I have on these movies when I saw them in the theaters and stuff. Or it could be something completely different. I'm just trying to think of something new and original. I know the past couple of weeks have kind of been about my teenage years, and I want to be varied a little bit. I don't want to do that every week, you know what I mean? So, Hate Live, we'll have a fun Back in the Day segment this week. I'm going to make an announcement right now that I already made on my forums, but I'll be honest, not a lot of people really check out thekingofhate.com, and that's a shame because they should. There's a lot of good information on there, and a good community of people who are talking about stuff, not just about me, but about all kinds of a variety of stuff, so check out the website when you get a chance. However, a lot of people have said, gee, Phil, the past 2 Hate Lives, you didn't take live callers. Are you going to be doing that in the future? And what happened, and what's the deal? The bottom line is this, guys. For about a year, I took live callers, and I'm going to be honest with you. During that time period when I took the live callers, about 90% of the time, it wasn't a very interesting segment. In fact, most people, the overwhelming feedback that I got was that the call segment is the worst segment of the show, and they wish that I would give more attention to other things on the show, like more time for Back in the Day, okay? In addition to that, it definitely showed on the stream because the stream viewership would plummet whenever we got to the live caller segment. People would be like, I don't like the calls, I'm just going to stop watching. Okay? So I've decided that I am not going to be doing live callers on Hate Live. It just doesn't make any sense to do it anymore because people are basically saying it's not fun, it's not a good segment, and they want me to take more time for Back in the Day. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be extending the first 2 segments so that they're each maybe an hour long, and that'll be Hate Live. if you want to have viewer feedback and viewer interaction, because that's what a lot of people were saying, oh, that's a shame that you're not taking callers because now there's no more interaction. I've got a whole show dedicated to that called Ask the King. I do it once a month. I take all of your questions and requests from my forums, from Twitter, and from Facebook, and I spend 2 hours answering all your questions on Ask the King. The good thing about Ask the King is that it's a screened show, meaning I get to review all the questions and pick the best ones so that it's an entertaining show. Not that we get a caller that may call in and say, hi, Phil, I'm a fan, and I really don't have anything to talk about. Because I'll be honest, that was a ton of people who called in just don't have a lot to talk about. They're just here to say, oh, cool, I got on the show, hi, I'm a fan. And I don't think anyone wants to see that. I mean, the overwhelming feedback I was getting was, we don't need it. And so that's pretty much going to be it. Hate Live is going to be the first segment where we talk about games, gaming, news, and stuff like that, my schedule, and the second segment is going to be back in the day, and that's going to be Hate Live moving forward, okay? So if you want to get questions asked, if you want to get questions answered, submit them for Ask the King. That's what you need to do. Incidentally, the forums already have a thread for the next episode of Ask the King, which is in a few weeks, and you can post up your questions right now, okay? All right, so what else? So that's going to be Thursday. We're going to have Hate Live. And again, we'll be balancing either the Dark Souls 2 DLC or Shadow of Mordor with that, depending on which people want to see more. And the same thing moving into Friday. Friday is different because guess what? There's a new release. It's a huge release on Friday. I mean, we're talking everyone's going to want to see this. It is Smash Brothers on the 3DS, Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 3DS. I'm very much looking forward to this because a few weeks ago I actually had the opportunity to play the demo, and I loved it. I thought, wow, the 4 or 5 characters that were in the demo were all different, had completely different gameplay styles. Once you learned a little bit about each character, you could find out an effective strategy with them. The game looks to be great. Now, unfortunately, there seems to be this big warning coming out of Japan and people who bought the imported version saying that you got to be careful when you play it because you have to press the thumbstick in certain directions plus a button in order to do special moves, and everyone's thumbsticks have been breaking. That's terrible. And I actually said when I played the demo, gee, it's kind of hard to get moves to come out when you got to push a direction and a button. And yeah, it's because the 3DS was not designed to have a fucking fighter on it. It just wasn't. This is a complete cash grab by Nintendo to get you to buy the game on 3DS first and then later buy it on Wii U, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But that is coming on Friday, okay? And Friday, that will be my first stream on Friday. My second stream on Friday will again be Shadow of Mordor or the Dark Souls 2 DLC, or maybe if that's a good day, if I haven't beaten it yet, I'll beat Hyrule Warriors that day. Saturday, again, there will only be one gameplay stream like I usually do on Saturdays, and that gameplay stream will be one of those games that we have not completed. Sunday is a special event, everyone, because as I said, we're not doing weekly Ultra Street Fighter 4 anymore. This week, the Ultra Street Fighter 4 portion that normally I would stream on first stream on Sunday is going to be replaced by Smash. I'm going to be doing a Smash marathon stream on Sunday, and if we can figure out a way to get viewers and fans to jump in and play against me, I'd love it. You know what I mean? It's a brand new game. Everyone's going to be trying out different characters and strategies. It's going to be anyone's game. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't mind when I play a game like that losing because you're just learning and having fun with a ton of the characters that are in the game and you're unlocking stuff, and it's always a lot of fun. So that's going to be Smash Sunday. This Sunday is Smash Sunday. So get your 3DSs ready, everyone. If you want to play against me, we're going to try to figure this out. And we're going to have Smash Sunday this Sunday. And then, of course, we're going to have the weekend preview. And then that night, we'll see how much time we have left after Smash Sunday, right? And see if we can squeeze in maybe a shorter stream of something like normally I'm not doing Tomodachi. Maybe I'll do something different to squeeze in there. And the same thing on Monday will be the leftovers, playing maybe more Smash, maybe Shadow of Mordor, maybe the Dark Souls 2 DLC, Hyrule Warriors, whatever I haven't beaten is going to be in those days, okay? And then the week after that is Gaming Overload. I shit you not. 4 major games, one of which I'm thinking of dropping, completely honestly, because I don't think I can handle 4 more games in 1 week. So we'll talk a little more about that next week. Some of the games that are coming out that I had on my list here that initially I had interest in, I think I may be taking off the list to give more time to other projects, but we'll talk about that as we approach them, okay? So, here we go. Let's go through it again very quickly, a summary for all of you. Tonight, the final Tomodachi live stream. Over the course of this week, new Ultra Street Fighter 4 videos every day until they finish. That's the final footage of that game for several months. Tomorrow, the conclusion of Leighton vs. Wright, as well as the continuation of Hyrule Warriors. Tuesday is a marathon stream of Shadows of Mordor all day long, both streams, but the first stream will be a little late. Wednesday will be the Dark Souls 2 DLC and Shadows of Mordor paired off, dependent on how you want to see. If you want to see Shadow of Mordor or Dark Souls 2 more, let me know, and that'll determine the order. Thursday will be one of those games, plus Hate Live. Friday will be two of those games, possibly Hyrule Warriors if I haven't beaten it yet. Saturday, same thing. Sunday, Friday is Smash. I screwed up. Friday, Smash is first stream, and then second stream is one of those games. Saturday is, the continuation of those games, and Sunday is Smash Sundays, where I play against you, live on stream, and then the weekend preview, and maybe something after that. So it's a jam-packed, fun-filled week. 3 new games, the continuation of Hyrule Warriors, the conclusion of Leighton vs. Wright, Hate Live, and I didn't even get to mention the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway is starting this week, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. When I get a chance, whether it's Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, one day this week, I'm going to announce the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. The very first item, I'm not going to reveal yet, because I don't want people to be spoiled and say, oh, now I know what it is. It's coming up. I'm going to announce it this week, what it's going to be. I showed you guys a preview of some of the things that I will be giving away, including a freaking video capture device, my old 3DS, a ton of stuff I'm giving away this year. I think this is going to be the best one ever. It's not just little, games and swag. It's actually going to be some great stuff this year that you guys are going to get your hands on in the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. That's starting this week, but I'll let you know on Twitter, and I'll obviously make a video about it when that's going live so you guys know. However, I'm going to say it very simply. There's only 2 ways to enter the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway. Either you need to register for my website, thekingofhate.com, and post up in the thread once the thread is created later this week, which you'll see when I make the video and explain it, or you need to become a paid subscriber on Twitch TV. The people who are paid subscribers will have an increased chance of winning. I'm just going to make that clear, because that's my way of giving back to them. You're not going to 100% win something, but you will have an increased chance of winning the Hardcore Gaming Season giveaway, okay? But don't worry, there's going to be several months of giveaway items, so if you don't win this week, there's tons more stuff coming up, so don't feel bad, all right? So that's coming this week, and we'll see what happens with that once it comes up and shows up, okay? All right. That's pretty much it, everybody. I want to say thanks very much for watching the weekend preview. I'm so excited because finally I feel like this is going to be a week where everything we play is hopefully going to be great. We're going to be finishing up projects that we really have put a lot of time and effort into, and we're going to be moving steadfast into the fall, into the Hardcore Gaming Season with great games. Finally, please, this week, great games are all I ask. It's what I've been waiting for since I moved to Washington, and I've only gotten a few. I'd like a lot more, and I'm hoping these next few weeks we get a significant amount more of great games. Thanks very much, everyone, for watching. I'll see you for new gameplay this week. I'm DSP signing off. Have a good night. Hope to see you on the stream for Tomodachi Live. Peace out.